Yes, we're welcome back on Module 1, Introduction to Child Psychology, Module 1, Topic 2. In this Topic 2, we're going to be looking at the using of theories to understand development. Using of theories to understand development. Okay. Like all the field of scientific research, child psychology is characterized by different perspectives and theories which have shaped how our understanding of development has changed over the time. As we believe that there are some scientific research that prove that things worth of it. So also in a child psychology, we have some scientific proof of research which give us the perspective on how the child develop. So there are many different theories to describe children development, but for today or for this module, we will be focused on just only two of those theories. Are we together? There are many theories that have been developed by different researchers, but we will focus on just only two for this module. Okay. Some theories argue that development occurs primarily through the factors internal to the child that are biologically generated, but in contrast, other theories consider environmental factors like a child's social environment, the interaction with elderly people. They are the ones that stimulate or supporting how the child develops. So let us now look more deeply into those theories, how those two researchers argue their theories. We look at the theories of two influential child psychologists who sought to understand how children learn and who represent those different perspectives. So the first person is James Paget. James Paget, based on development, says is a primarily internal. Why Lev Vygotsky says development of a child is determined by the environmental factors. Are we together? So those are the two theories that we are going to appreciate on now. The first one is the James Paget, who says that every child develops primarily internal. But when the another researcher, Lev Vygotsky, says no, development is determined by the environmental factors. So let's start with the Paget. The first one says development is primarily internal, according to the Paget. So what makes Paget to say this is because Paget have tested or presenting children with a series of questions and comparing each child's individual performance with a group age or the age image of the group. So the Paget now understand or notice that the children of the same age, they often make the same sort of errors in consistent ways. So that is what this researcher detects. He noticed that children of the same age, they do often make the same sort of errors or mistakes in a consistent ways. Then he also sees that this led to him to think that the children might think about the world in a substantially different ways from the adults that could not be explained simply through having the less experience of the world. So that is the belief of James Paget. Then it says on the basis of the lifelong work, he developed a theory that make him to think of a typically developing children mature in a distinct stages, meaning that older children are biologically capable of understanding things that those in the early stages cannot comprehend. So he believed that children moved from base stages as a result of accumulating some physical experiences of interacting with the objects in the world, so that their growing ability are the result of their brain maturation as well as the encountering experience in the environment. So simply what we are trying to say here is that James Pigeon believed that the child development, or the way the child develop, is mainly depend on the internal factors that affect those particular child, because of the theory that he has put together. And the theory is simply saying that he realized that this kind of skills, they do make, this kind of things, these children made the same mistake or error in a consistent way, especially those kids on the same age group. But in a contrary to this is the Vygotsky. Vygotsky researcher believe that is the environmental factors that depend or that determines how the child develop. In a similar time, another researcher named Lev Vygotsky in 1896 to 1934 has come to similar conclusion about the patient, about children development, in thinking that the children learn about the world through the interaction with it. However, the patient felt that the children move naturally through different stages of development based on the biological predisposition and their own individual interaction with the world. But Vygotsky claimed that adult or peer interaction was a much more important contributor to developmental process. Can you now see the different arguments here? That the patient belief that the kids move from stages of development based on the biological disposition and their own individual interaction with the world. But in the Vygotsky claimed that adults or the peer, the family, the environment, the socials, they have more impact, or they are most contributor to how a child develops. So Vygotsky concentrated more on children's immediate social and the cultural environment and the interaction with the adults and the peers. He argued that cognitive development occurs first to the children's immediate social interaction and how they move individuals. So he believed that the children start to develop with the way they interact, or how they interact with the immediate individuals or the environment. So those are the two researchers who has proved to us how the child develop, and this make us to come to the end of this topic. In the next topic, we shall be looking at some questions about children development. Thank you for joining me. See you again in the next topic.